Hello and welcome to my search engine optimization or SEO tutorial series where I plan to show you the legitimate ways of going about SEO with your website. In the past, the skill of SEO has really been a matter of figuring out what Google wants to see and giving it to Google. Obviously that's no good because it results in people making websites for Google and not actual people. So Google's constantly trying to fix this, or at least make it to the point where what Google wants is what people want. And really every year they make pretty big changes to their algorithms and all that stuff that actually ranks a page and serves as a result in someone's search. Obviously, if you think about it, they must do this because if you look, for example, at the early days, the best way to get a good page rank was to have a lot of specific keywords, and like some of the top ranked niche sites, for example, really just had bodies of text that made like no logical sense but contained a bunch of content specific keywords and strings and stuff like this just to get ranked. Since then, really, Google's made a ton of changes for how they actually rank sites and find sites, because they have to. If they're returning basically spam sites, then they're not really doing their job very well and people aren't getting the results that they're looking for. And in the end, Google's losing credibility, the customer is losing. It's not a good situation, and Google knows that. So Google really is constantly evolving and is getting to the point where, what Google wants to see is what Google believes people want to see as well, or at least experience on your website. So now it's really a case where SEO is more of a function of just understanding your customer and the customer experience or the user experience on your website. So I mean, of course there's still some basic things that you can do to what I would call accommodate Google, but most of SEO is really understanding the target audience and taking into account a bunch of customer experience factors like, the different browsers, loading time, obviously your content, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we'll actually start getting into. And that's really the way it ought to be, right? You really ought to be making your website for your user, and Google should really work around that. So it's really good that this is the way that SEO is going. So in the subsequent videos in this series, I'm going to be covering what I would say, with scare quotes, current SEO practices. It is late September 2013, so these things might change, but I really doubt it because the road that Google is on right now for, and then as far as like what you need to do right now for SEO is pretty good direction. So I'm not really sure too much of this stuff that will change. I urge you to ignore anyone selling any sort of SEO tricks or gimmicks or whatever, and don't buy things like backlinks and all that stuff. Just don't do it. Instead, what you really want to do is learn how to get your target audience and how to make their experience on your website the best as possible, while also being clear to Google about what your website's actually about. In the end, there really is going to be no trick or gimmick, but the process of search engine optimization is actually going to help you improve your website. There still will be obviously people who are going to try to cheat, and even people who are successful in cheating in the short term. But what you have to understand is Google's main focus with their search engine is to eliminate cheating and serve truly good results. And I assure you, Google's putting in way more effort here than you could ever put into your website in cheating. So it really is going to be a losing game if you do try to cheat. So let's make our websites better, improve traffic, and do it legit. So if that sounds interesting to you, please continue on to the next video in this series. As always, thanks for watching.